Muhammad Ali was one of the most renowned and influential heavyweight boxers in history. Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. on January 17, 1942, in Louisville, Kentucky, was one of the most iconic and influential figures of the 20th century. Ali was married 4 times and had 9 children. His life journey spanned from the boxing ring to the civil rights movement, from controversies to triumphs, shaping not just the sport of boxing but also the social and political landscape of his time. Ali grew up in a time of racial segregation and discrimination in the United States. His childhood in Louisville was marked by experiences of racial prejudice, which fueled his later activism. His introduction to boxing came at the age of 12, when his bicycle was stolen, and he expressed his desire to whoop the thief to a police officer named Joe Martin, who also happened to be a boxing trainer. In addition to being a police officer, Martin also trained young boxers at a local gym. Clay started working with Martin to learn how to spar and soon began his boxing career. In his first amateur bout in 1954, he won the fight by split decision. Clay went on to win the 1956 Golden Gloves tournament for novices in the light heavyweight class. 3 years later, he won the National Golden Gloves Tournament of Champions, as well as the Amateur Athletic Union's national title for the light heavyweight division. Clay attended mostly black public schools, including Central High School in Louisville from 1956 to 1960. However, the school's principal Atwood Wilson could see Clay's potential and opposed this, sarcastically asking the staff, "Do you think I'm going to be the principal of a school that Cassius Clay didn't finish?" Ali quickly showed promise as a boxer, winning numerous amateur titles, including the gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome, Italy. This victory marked the beginning of his rise to prominence in the boxing world and beyond. After the Olympics, Ali turned professional and embarked on a journey that would establish him as one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time. Known for his lightning-fast reflexes, unmatched footwork, and charismatic personality, Ali captivated audiences both inside and outside the ring. In 1964, at the age of 22, Ali shocked the world by defeating Sonny Liston to become the heavyweight champion of the world. It was during this time that he announced his conversion to Islam. Clay met charismatic Nation of Islam minister Malcolm X at a rally in Detroit in June 1962. In 1964, Malcolm X brought his family to visit Clay while he trained in Florida for his February 25 title fight against Sonny Liston. Clay's victory over Liston earned him his first World Heavyweight Boxing Championship. The next morning, on February 26, Clay announced his affiliation with the Nation of Islam. At first, he called himself Cassius X before settling on the name Muhammad Ali. Surprisingly, his allegiances were with Supreme Leader Elijah Muhammad and not the exiled Malcolm X. Ali and Malcolm's friendship quickly fractured, and the two went their separate ways by that spring. Ali married his first wife, Sanji Roi, in 1964. They divorced a little more than 1 year later when she refused to adopt the Nation of Islam dress and customs. Ali showed little remorse upon Malcolm X's murder on February 21, 1965, but admitted in his 2005 memoir Soul of a Butterfly, "Turning my back on Malcolm was one of the mistakes that I regret most in my life." Ali married his second wife, 17-year-old Belinda Boyd, in 1967. Boyd and Ali had 4 children together. Boyd and Ali's divorce was finalized in 1977. Ali's decision to convert to Islam and his refusal to be drafted into the Vietnam War on religious and moral grounds made him a polarizing figure in American society. In 1967, Ali famously declared, "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong," and refused induction into the U.S. Army, citing his religious beliefs and opposition to the war. Ali started a different kind of fight with his outspoken views against the Vietnam War. Drafted into the military in April 1967, he refused to serve on the grounds that he was a practicing Muslim minister with religious beliefs that prevented him from fighting. He was arrested for committing a felony and almost immediately stripped of his world title and boxing license. The U.S. Justice Department pursued a legal case against Ali and denied his claim for conscientious objector status. He was found guilty of violating selective service laws and sentenced to 5 years in prison in June 1967 but remained free while appealing his conviction. Unable to compete professionally in the meantime, Ali missed more than 3 prime years of his athletic career. Following his suspension, Ali found refuge on Chicago's South Side, where he lived from the mid-1960s through the late 1970s. He continued training, formed amateur boxing leagues, and fought whomever he could in local gyms. Finally granted a license to fight in 1970 in Georgia, which did not have a statewide athletic commission, Ali returned to the ring at Atlanta City Auditorium on October 26 with a win over Jerry Quarry. A few months later, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned his conviction in June 1971, allowing Ali to fight on a regular basis. On March 8, 1971, Ali took on Joe Frazier in what has been called the fight of the century. Frazier and Ali went toe-to-toe for 14 rounds before Frazier dropped Ali with a vicious left hook in the 15th. Ali recovered quickly, but the judges awarded the decision to Frazier, handing Ali his first professional loss after 31 wins. After suffering a loss to Ken Norton, Ali beat Frazier in a rematch on January 28, 1974. In 1975, Ali and Frazier locked horns again for their grudge match on October 1 in Quezon City, Philippines. Dubbed the Thrilla in Manila, the bout nearly went the distance, with both men delivering and absorbing tremendous punishment. However, Frazier's trainer threw in the towel after the 14th round, giving the hard-fought victory to Ali. Another legendary Ali fight took place on October 30, 1974, against undefeated heavyweight champion George Foreman. Billed as the Rumble in the Jungle, the bout was organized by promoter Don King and held in Kinshasa, Zaire. For once, Ali was seen as the underdog to the younger, massive Foreman, but he silenced his critics with a masterful performance. He baited Foreman into throwing wild punches with his rope-a-dope technique, before stunning his opponent with an 8th-round knockout to reclaim the heavyweight title. At the same time Ali was married to Boyd, he traveled openly with Veronica Porch, who became his third wife in 1977. The pair had 2 daughters together, Hannah and Lila Ali. The latter followed in Ali's footsteps by becoming a champion boxer. Porch and Ali divorced in 1986. After losing his title to Leon Spinks on February 15, 1978, Ali defeated him months later in a rematch on September 15. Ali became the first boxer to win the heavyweight championship 3 times. Following a brief retirement, Ali returned to the ring to face Larry Holmes on October 2, 1980, but was overmatched against the younger champion. Following one final loss in 1981, to Trevor Berbick, the boxing great retired from the sport at age 39. In 1984, Ali announced that he had Parkinson's disease, a degenerative neurological condition. Despite the progression of Parkinson's and the onset of spinal stenosis, he remained active in public life. Ali married his 4th and final wife Yolanda, who went by Lonnie, in 1986. The pair had known each other since Lonnie was just 6 and Ali was 21, their mothers were best friends and raised their families on the same street. Ali and Lonnie had 1 son together, Assad, and remained married until Ali's death. Ali raised funds for the Muhammad Ali Parkinson Center in Phoenix, Arizona. And he was on hand to celebrate the inauguration of the first black president in January 2009, when Barack Obama was sworn into office. In 2005, Ali received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President George W. Bush. Ali also received the President's Award from the NAACP in 2009 for his public service efforts. Ali opened the Muhammad Ali Center, a multicultural center with a museum dedicated to his life and legacy, in his hometown of Louisville in 2005. Ali's later years were marked by his battle with Parkinson's disease, which was attributed to the numerous head injuries. Despite his declining health, Ali remained an influential figure, using his platform to advocate for humanitarian causes and promote peace and understanding among people of different races, religions, and cultures. Muhammad Ali passed away on June 3, 2016, at the age of 74, leaving behind a legacy that transcends the world of sports. He will always be remembered not only as one of the greatest athletes of all time but also as a champion of social justice, civil rights, and human dignity. His life serves as a testament to the power of resilience, courage, and unwavering conviction in the pursuit of justice and equality for all.